If you saw the end of the last episode, which if my analytics are to be believed, you didn't, I mentioned I'm spending too long editing and not enough time playing, so I can't create the content I want to make, building videos. The content I'm creating isn't really entertaining or engaging either. There's a lot of footage that could have been cut, but with everything, practice makes perfect. I've learned a lot and we will get there, but without further ado, let's begin. I summon a hunter in place, as good as any, and I resummon my blacksmith, who's been looking down at me like I'm not the main character. This room still has some more space, so I think it's time to squeeze in another NPC, the alchemist. Wait, maybe I'm going too quickly. We leave our base by fast travelling to the Springland's ancient spire, take a running jump and glide in the general direction of the alchemist. We take the time to admire the view before landing in style. We quickly dispose of a lone wolf before looting the derelict building in front of us and vandalising the place because not only is it cathartic, we're rewarded for our bastardly ways. Not that there's anyone to stop me. Where is everyone anyway? I haven't actually been paying attention to the story. Anybody down here? Oh, yep, loads of people. Jesus, mate. Whoa. Oh, stop it! We get jump scared by some rats in the basement and take an embarrassing amount of damage when we are attacked by 3 more. I'm going to blame tab targeting for that though. Oh, there's tab targeting, mate. Stop it! Leaving the building from a hole in the roof, we scoop out the area, looking like a Cabbage Patch version of Batman. With my performance in the basement playing on my mind, I check the keybinds. Now Emma Vale should be worried. Lock target, tab. Lock on target, toggle. Cycle on target, left, R and F. Okay. We come across the ruins of a church with a new enemy waiting for us by a stone lectern. After playing with him for a bit, we finish him off from the distance. We explore the crypt below but find nothing of value, so make our way to the ancient vault. Being the eagle-eyed gamer I am, I tried to get style points by using the environment to kill these 2 enemies. Throwing a bomb would be an easy way to create a chain reaction. Nope, that failed. Oh, you fucking idiot. I guess that works as well. We make our way to the room where the alchemist rests, and I decide to use the weapon I have actually put skill points in, albeit very briefly. As you saw before, the alchemist is now ours. Nice. A nearby side quest takes us into the Enshrouded, where I'm instantly overrun by enemies. Luckily, they die quickly and killing a group of them with one swing is very satisfying. Get out of that. Shit. Oh god, oh my lord. I actually managed to use the environment to my advantage this time. But seconds later I pay the price when his friend has had enough of my shit. In a panic I pop a potion and attempt to flee, but decide to stand my ground. Decision of mine, like most, I end up regretting. Shit. Oh, for fuck. Returning to my corpse, I sucker punch my killer with a fireball to the face. Losing track of time, I make a mad dash to wherever the exit may be, running into a time-sucking mushroom thing and opting to jump off the edge where I came from. I'm dead. I'm lost and I'm dead. I accept my fate and wait for the shroud to take me. Returning to my corpse yet another time, I check the map, find a route I think will most likely get me out. Accepting I'll lose a couple of seconds, I decide to run past the mushroom, falling into yet another trap and achieving record time for dying after retrieving my gear. Rushing back to my corpse for the 4th time, I take it a bit more slowly, still opting to tank the explosion, but ready for the remaining enemies to jump me. Okay, I wasn't ready for those. Finding refuge at a flame shrine to gather whatever remaining dignity I have left and decide to cleanse this godforsaken place once and for all, only to... yeah, not the best display of my skills. Jesus Christ. Luckily the flame shrine's meters away, and leaving this fight in here to show I'm not completely devoid of a brain. I cut down a tree, only dying 2 more times before, but no one needs to see that. I'll show you the next 2 times I did die trying to leave this place because they're just embarrassing. Just remember that time I killed 3 enemies. Oh for fuck's sake! Sunlights never look so good. I think I'll stay here forever now. Maybe go back to that jar I started this game in. I summon the alchemist who gives me 2 side quests, one of them for an eternal ice spell, which answers a complaint I had about spells being limited. Not enjoying a masochistic lifestyle as much as I thought I would, I start some work on renovating my base. Starting with some small changes to the entrance of this side room where I'll be keeping my chests. Then move on to the large ruined area behind, which I think would be nice for my blacksmith. I spend quite some time removing most of the rubble from the ground. Then I start chipping away at some of the rock face at the back. With the bottom floor cleared up, I start working on the second level. Here I'm essentially just replacing the missing stone and creating a landing. I would like to look down at the blacksmith, simultaneously creating a skylight for the smoke of the kiln to travel through. Distracted, I stop working on the landing and start working on one side of the wall. I do a bit more of the landing, then distracted again, work on the stairs. That is... I'm actually proud of that. I finish the landing and start on more of the wall, adding some spaces for windows, keeping them consistent with the ones before. I'm trying to ignore the stones that are sticking out, but it is killing me inside. I'm proper proud of the results so far, but with the scattered way I tend to work, I'm going to call it a day with the building. Continuing on with our adventure, a page we found at the alchemist's ancient vault mentioned a hidden stash just south of the vault. A couple of traps and 3 enemies meet us at the entrance. Not too much of an issue, we kill the enemies and make our way into the cave. Opening up to reveal a large stockpile of items. But it's the probably should have been hidden better chest that we came here for. Inside we're rewarded with our first legendary weapon, the Wailing Blade. With another side quest being so close, it would be rude not to check that off our to-do list, and I'm eager to try out this new weapon. Unfortunately, the trip to the obelisk presented no danger, and instead it gave us 2 more locations to visit. Looking for a fight, our new weapon revealed an additional feature, a light source. I'm unsure if I'm just used to 2-handed weapons, but the speed of this sword is such a nice change of pace. It makes short work of these enemies as well. What a find. The blacksmith wants to speak to us about the weapon, so we pay him a visit. Turns out he made it for his daughter, but she isn't around anymore, so he is letting me keep it, pretending it's what she would have wanted, because he knows he can't take it from me. I finally respec because I'm rarely using spells, and strengthen the flame. The hunter marks the location of another ancient vault where a farmer rests, and the alchemist marks the location of the carpenter. I opt to retrieve the farmer first. The lack of enemies outside isn't a good sign, and as soon as I enter the vault I can just tell I'll be running around this place for a while. We need to find 3 switches, and my plan in these situations is normally the same as it would be if I was in the maze. Just stick to the left wall. After a quick game of the floor is lava, we enter a room where the walls are electric. Not wanting to play, I try to shoot some arrows at the switch at the other end of the room, like I don't have to go that way anyway. It doesn't work, so I go that way anyway. We get to the switch, continue forward and swing our way across to the other side and our second switch. Following the left wall takes us up to the roofs. I don't like being inside and I don't like the night time. The outside just looks too good when the sun's out. We open the door into another trap room. We just double jump and glide over and reach our third switch. I make my way up to the very top just in case there's a secret chest or something, and appreciate the outdoors a bit more before jumping back into the vault to save the farmer. Gliding later than usual just in case I end up flying into the lava below. We go back home after a brief visit to Westcott, which I decided to leave because I got bored. On an unrelated note, I wish health regenerated when sleeping. We put the farmer outside because I assume that's where she would prefer. Her first quest tells me otherwise, so inside she goes. We add the blacksmith's forge and the charcoal kiln in our fancy new area, which makes space for our hunter's drying rack inside our main base of operations. The hunter has a quest for me to complete in Westcott, so back we go. Being an absolute action hero, I jump off the wall and hit the ground with a sword smash, making short work of these two enemies. A note nearby mentioned she'd left her spindle atop a cliff top, only a short distance away. At the time of editing, and have basically taken hiatus from Enshrouded, I'm unsure if I have fought these flowers before, but let me tell you, the hate I have for these enemies is as strong now as it was the first time I came in contact with them. Bear traps can also fuck off. Willow Crush looks extremely inviting. The red mist in the distance really makes me feel at home. They don't even have doors. What a trusting community. Don't mind me, just gonna read your letter. God damn it. My opinion of this place has done a complete 180. I think the best course of action for this lookout is death by 1,000 cuts. Not too sure why I opted for the bow, but I paid the price. To be fair, my scroll wheel is loose, and I'm sure you'll notice me swap items at the most optimal time. I pick up my gear and get payback. Almost dying to a sneaky boy. A cheeky 1v1 puts it in its place though. Leaving the area via the bridge, I quickly changed my mind. I guess the hunt is going to have to wait for a spindle. Back home we go. With the north of the map being a no-go zone, we venture east. I can't remember my exact thought process, but I believe we're going to pick up the carpenter, taking a scenic route and stopping off at the Flame Shrine. Entering the Sealing Quarry, I'm feeling a lot more confident, getting a cheeky triple with a bomb and evaporating another with the fire spell. While being a higher level is an obvious advantage, the Wailing Blade does further my confidence into borderline arrogance. Combat is a lot more fluid, I'm paying more attention to my stamina and I'm starting to see results. The Sealing Spring quickly puts me back in my place. I try to get a quick 180 explosive kill but fail, and I'm given the same treatment. My arrogance sends me, at low health, to a nearby archer. This pays off, but my toolbar auto switches to the bow and... hello darkness, my old friend. I accidentally used the wrong food, and I have to wait for it to expire before I can regenerate my health. Maybe bandages are an essential item to have in my bag. I waste arrows playing duck hunt on enemies that respawn. With time in the Enshrouded running out, I go back to the Flame Shrine to cleanse the Enshrouded and wait until I can use my berries. I also have an idea for a feature where you can stick your fingers down your throat to remove a food buff. You can have that one for free, devs. The three lights in the distance tell me this isn't the first time I've been here. My memory of this place is coming back to me and it is triggering. I think I've been trying to repress this part of my playthrough. I'm starting to remember the length of time I spent in this place, looping the same route over and over until I found the final switch to open the door, which thankfully gave me a useful item. The Pikemead's Bulwark, a shield belonging to the Queen, and if it defends me half as much as she defended Prince Andrew, I think I'll be alright. The quest in the top right suggests we're looking for the Alchemist's Tower, which I doubt would be in the Catacombs. Anyway, I seem to have changed my mind and am now making my way to our second ancient spire. If there's one thing I would like, it's more fast travel locations. Scrap that, the Alchemist Tower is actually right there. Approaching the tower from a high point, we glide down to a balcony, which happens to be exactly where we needed to go. I press a random switch as all buttons should be pressed and go on my way, working my way down the tower until I reach the basement and find the mortar. Take notes, Hunter. We go home, struggle to find a place to put the mortar. I really need to make a start on other buildings. The carpenter, who could as well have just wandered in on his own accord, hears my struggle for space and gives me a quest to find the materials to build a table saw. I have my mind blown at how much of the map I've yet to explore, because I feel like I've been to so many different places. This world feels absolutely massive. I decided to clear out some of the shroud routes, starting at the one closest to our home in the west. Nothing of note happens on our journey to the shroud route, but we do find a new building block. The luminescent block. But just like the bone block, I don't think I'll be using it much, if at all. Cleansing the Enshrouded from this area, we make our way to the next route up north by fast travelling to the ancient spire, and you guessed it, gliding. This venture doesn't last long as, and I'm guessing my thought process again, I can't find a clear route to the route apart from going into the Enshrouded, and I do not want to go into the Enshrouded. I go back to the ancient spire, but before I continue, and just so you know, as well as losing God knows how much footage, all the footage I did capture on this day, over 5 hours of it, I didn't have my mic plugged in, which is why I'm having to guess what I'm doing. I do remember that I am placing this waypoint because I looked at the map of Embervale on Map Genie and saw the ancient spires. I wanted a fast travel point with a high vantage point in the middle of them all. On the map, this place looks perfect. Renovating Embervale is looking to be a very late game activity. I would like to thank you if you made it to the end of the video. I've condensed over 5 hours of footage in under 20 minutes. This isn't a big deal to some, but an earlier version of me would have attempted to waterboard you through half of that. An even earlier version of me would have Clockwork Orange you through the whole lot. Again, thank you. I do hope you enjoyed it somewhat, but if not, thank you for your time anyway. Sorry, no refunds on time.